Now that the COVID-19 pandemic is dying down a little bit, we need to learn how to reacclimate into society. And here on The Splash, we thought that bringing in an expert on etiquette would be the best for us. Joining us now to talk about etiquette is the etiquette guru, Stacy Amey. Stacy, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Maddie.
So Stacy, could you first talk about what it means to be an etiquette guru and how you got into the business?
Sure. What it means is to be an expert on this topic and answer questions that people have. And if I don't know the answer, it's the commitment to research that question and get back with them and give them an answer. I got into this about 13 years ago for my own daughters, looking for classes for them. I couldn't really find anything, so I delved into it and researched, and I became certified in children's etiquette, and I put together a ton of material that was pertinent to me that I wanted them to know, and that's how this began for me.
Stacy, could you talk about some tips for people that are looking to enhance their etiquette skills as the COVID-19 pandemic and the regulations are relaxing?
Sure. I think if anybody is looking for something specific, please reach out to me and I will customize a class for you. Otherwise, I think going back to the basics, using your magic words, letting others go before you, using your best language, dressing and acting properly in public, and being mindful now that your mask may be off. Just paying attention to that and your facial expressions, I think, will be important.
Stacy, when you were talking to people during the COVID-19 pandemic over the past years, did you have a couple of things that came up more often than others when talking to people about their etiquette and what they were having issues with?
I think the main thing was people were having issues on both sides, just people not minding their own business and addressing them with questions and things like that, being too intrusive. So I think as we reemerge into normalcy, being mindful of that and being kind, and again, just mind your own business, give people space. Everybody has gone through this in their own way. I think, at family gatherings and things like that, if you are someone who's very comfortable, that's wonderful. I would wait for others to approach you. And if you are not comfortable, if somebody is approaching you, I think I would be forthcoming with your issues so that you don't have any kind of misinterpretation of your behavior or hurt feelings and things like that. So I think, again, communication is key.
And Stacy, when you talk to people about other things that are not the COVID-19 pandemic, do you have any people that come to you with misconceptions about things that seem polite but aren't either those common mistakes that people make?
Common mistakes, there's a lot of them. I mean, I think unless you're someone like me who has really delved into this, and as society has kind of become lax in these different rules, there's a lot of mistakes that happen. I can think of a few off the top of my head. There's in a dining situation, unless you are told to begin or invited to begin, or at a buffet, everybody needs to wait for everybody to be served before they begin eating, and that includes dessert. I think another one I see is that really catches my eye. When you are drinking out of a glass, you should be looking down sort of into your glass instead of staring out over the top of your glass. That one really gets my attention. If someone asks you to pass the salt at a dinner party, pass the pepper with it. That's a simple one. Another one, people should keep their bags or purses over their left arm or shoulder, leaving their right hand free to shake hands. And when you do go out to eat, nothing should be put on the table. No purses, glasses, keys, things like that. All of that should be left off the table. I don't know. Those are a few things off the top of my head.
Those are great. I'm learning something as we go. Stacy, over the past couple of years, especially with the pandemic, have you seen any shifts in rules and etiquette that you would like to talk about, either that's the etiquette culture or something that you've seen change over the past couple of years?
I don't know that I've really seen anything change. It's just been more of a withdrawal situation, people really, being just in and of themselves and not reaching out, and I mean like to strangers. So I think if people can just, find themselves again and re-emerge into society and taking the time to speak with strangers and be friendly again. Everybody was just go in, do your stuff and go back home, that kind of mentality. And I think that's over now. So just going back to your friendly self and, greet your neighbor and have fun with it.
And Stacy, do you have maybe one big tip for our viewers who are looking to enhance their etiquette skills that they can take home and with those social gatherings, if they're going back out again, to take home and practice?
I think always practice your dining skills. I mean, aside from making others feel comfortable socially with space and things like that, practicing dining skills is always pertinent because that's probably the most obvious of the public skills. So brush up on those, and if you don't know about them, reach out to me. I'm happy to teach you. So I just, that's something I definitely see out in public when I'm in a restaurant. It's kind of mortifying sometimes what I see. But, it's just because people don't know. And the thing with mealtime, people seem especially sensitive. I don't know if it's because you're swallowing and things like that. So you need to be careful what you're doing and also what you're speaking about.
Stacy, as we wrap up here, would you share with our viewers how they can contact you if they're interested in one of those personalized classes, or any tips and tricks that you may share with them?
Sure. Please email me at theetiquetteguru@yahoo.com or go to my website, theetiquetteguru.com.
Well, Stacy, it was a pleasure having you on today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you.